Hello, Gemini. So, I have to admit that when I came into your reading, I was expecting Gemini to be light and flirtatious energy, and instead I got a very intense and serious reading starting out here for you. So, I'm connecting with some Geminis that have some very powerful something going on. So before I get into anything, I want to pull you a Kali Oracle card. So there we have it. Okay. Shodashi. We have this one during the Daily Dharma today, talking about the red, passionate, authentic self. And I was seeing how she had her attention called to something super exciting over there. It's like she's like some... Okay, all right, okay. I'll get right back to that. Under the deck of my handwritten cards on the pre was Demon Slayer. First of all, regret, I'm sorry was under that card. So that's why it's this intense reading. So hey, oh yeah, by the way, I'm Deana with Impressive Warrior, and I'm here to do a reading for Gemini. So, but you already knew that. So, something has you very passionately going on about your day. She's shown naked, but just jewels. A collar around her neck as though some type of yoke of responsibility in my way of thinking, but I don't think it's intended that way. But so it's almost as though you're going about your business, you're trying to be yourself, you've got 4 arms, you're doing a bunch of stuff, you're juggling, you're going different directions, and something calls your attention over here, and we have another 4-handed goddess under here. And since we have the Demon Slayer, I just want to real quick read you this little piece of card that they write in here. Ruby red with the divine juice of life. She nourishes the body, mind, and soul with vitalizing pleasure, life, and joyfulness. Goddess Shodashi restores self-esteem and an awareness of your innate value, especially after a time of painful rejection or disappointment. Though her blessings, the desires of the heart can find fulfillment in new ways. She brings divine energy for the manifestation of wishes. Her presence is an indication of inner power to restore yourself and attract what you need into your life. And the 28, so that's 26 and 28. So 8 and 10. I'm loving this deck. Gaia, is that Gaia Kali? Our Divine Mother who knows all, with every answer and every mystery within her power to disclose, provides knowledge at the right time and in the best way. An answer to your question shall be provided. Do not immediately dismiss intuitions that are unexpected or lead you into unknown territory. Rest and reflect upon your insights, allowing your wisdom, rather than a reaction, to distill their usefulness and value. An entirely new perspective about a matter of importance is awakening. A secret shall be revealed, and all you need to know will be given to you. Welcome to that energy. Are you feeling it? This is, okay, so let me get into what's coming out for your stuff here. So in the handwritten cards, first we had the popping out cards. We had Pluto, Jupiter, and in the middle, spelling. Mind your mind. Guard your tongue. Thoughts become reality. So Pluto and Jupiter is like, Pluto is the god of the underworld, and Jupiter is the god of expansion. So Zeus and Hades going at it. So the underworld and the upper world, the lightning bolt of epiphanies, of like sparkling desires, and squirrel over here because we see her distracted, like, oh yeah, okay, I'll go to this, or oh my gosh, what is that thing? So something has caught your attention, and we're talking about something that you feel somehow maybe unequal to, because we also heard rejection. But I'm kind of feeling with this Demon Slayer card, it's a previous experience that is still coloring your perception and experience. And so I want to just offer up just that word of just mass hypnosis of our value has got to be blown out of the water going forward. So, okay, let's go through the cards. We start with 12, change. We have a couple of chakra cards coming through. We have the crown chakra and the third eye chakra. So, purple and violet. And then we come to miracle. Master number 33. So something's breaking through, right? And 25, emergence. So if you noticed on the change card, we had that orange and some other colors, right? And then there was a square of purple. And so the purple colors, that crown chakra, is really talking about not only our beliefs and our structured approaches, our perspectives, all of these things, how we engage with our world, the opportunities that we allow or disallow through our self-belief as we speak things into being, as we believe things into being, and as we allow ourselves to dream big or to become super afraid of those horrible nightmares. So with crown and third eye chakra, that's definitely, especially coming out right after spelling, mind your mind. So either so especially Gemini is the sign of the mind. It's ruled by the planet Mercury, which is androgynous, and it's shown up by the twins, Castor and Pollux, which were mirrored images, dualistic in presentation, like one's the good guy, one's the bad guy type of a thing, right? So maybe you have a good cop, bad cop, Jekyll and Hyde thing going. We don't see the mood swing card, and I know Gemini gets blamed for that, but instead of blaming yourself for it, recognize whose voice and whose energy is pushing those types of thoughts through your psyche. What is it related to? There's something that you're becoming super aware of. Some type of feelings of inner rejection is what I'm hearing because of something else. I was just hearing popularity. I looked at one of these cards. Okay, I know I'm jumping to the end here, but this card just jumped out to my attention, and it says Caterpillar Opportunity, and it's very minxy and very Cheshire Cat-ish, but very beautiful and abundant, right? So it's almost like she saw the Cheshire Cat and she's like, what? You know, what is that? And I'm hearing popularity. It's like, it's very fluffy pink. It reminds me of some of those movies where they talk about the highly materialistic popular girls snubbing the less popular people or forming traps or something like this. There's most likely something to do with your perception or somebody's projection on you that you weren't as acceptable as others. Now, if you're quirky and unique, then of course people that are, you know, in here, look at too how every single section of this body mimics the head of the snake, the head of the cat. It's a hologram of repeating. And you can take this a couple different ways, but it's just like the head the narcissist head of an organization, and then all of the minions coming down below, they all look with that same type of energy because they're trying to serve the head instead of themselves. And since we were just talking about that you're ruled by the mind, so all of your chakras, all of your energies are serving some type of a mental complex that has been ongoing in your energy field for some time, and you're putting an end to it. You're seeing through something very clearly, very pronounced in a moment. There's this huge change going on, followed, third eye chakra is followed by the miracle and emergence, remember. So there's this, instead of a tower or realization, we're seeing miracle. So it's this point of deliverance. It's like we recognize perhaps the miracle it was that we didn't have some type of a prayer answered, an unanswered prayer that was actually a spiritual redirection, not a rejection in the least, right? So there's that element of it. So clarifying change, we have eyes of the eagle rising above the fray. I really wish you guys were here for the shuffle, but it saves time to lay them out. Under the deck next to the caterpillar was this perfect storm. The courage to step into life. And that storm is at the center. It's that cauldron of creation that happens in the soul. I'm hearing solar plexus. So where we channel our heart and emotional, mental energies and our perception of how things are and have been, and our reception into the world. When we channel them into the solar plexus, it's the perfect opportunity to advocate for who we are and how we are. But the more that we focus on the things that set us apart in our differences, the more we're engaging energy that is separative. Is that what I'm trying to say? Sometimes I'm hearing, I'm seeing, I'm thinking, I'm feeling all at once, trying to get those messages through. We'll come back around. So this perfect storm, look at how there's all these codes coming around the eye, and look at the iris of this bird. It's so cosmic and magical. So the eagle, I always like to say, is the highest symbol for Scorpio, flying above. The scorpion is retaliation. The phoenix is like rebuilding and annihilating the self to rebuild. The eagle is like, I don't have to feel ashamed of who I am at my best or my worst. I don't have to cling to who I am at my best and be ashamed of who I am at my worst. I can just transcend the illusion that there is a storm to escape. My chaos is my creative cauldron, and I bring all of that animosity and misgivings, and I put that through the clear and perfect channel that is me and my awesomeness, right? You. And I transmute that shit. I say, this is who I really am. This is what my objective is. This is where I'm going. And even if I don't know, I'm going in a good, orderly direction towards my bliss and my happiness. I like to help others along the way if I have the opportunity. And I love to accept help from those hearts and souls that want to support and uplift my spirit and my path. Keep it simple. So, following that, clarifying crown chakra is this juggling cosmonaut here, this lady of mystery, this divine priestess. Is that you? She may be an astrologer or a reader of the signs and synchronicities. She may be very creatively inspired. She may be very connected to all things cosmic and channeling. But what I'm seeing is this is a breath of fresh air for someone. So, I don't know, take it as you resonate. If you're encountering this individual, this priestess energy vibe, or if you're embodying it, you're a breath of fresh air. You're offering up information that this person has been waiting to listen to and has been eagerly looking and listening for. It's like all of their senses have been piqued, listening and waiting and watching for the perfect connection, I'm hearing. So the crossing, look at that beautiful bridge, and there's a portal and a figure that is just poised, ready to go through that portal. So this is an initiation on the spiritual realm, showing that portal, but you're going to see evidence of it on the material plane, and it's going to be instantaneous. With the power that we have on here, particularly if you are guarding your mind and your thoughts and things that you're putting into reality. I know yesterday I caught myself many times, and I didn't correct myself verbally, but in my mind I was correcting myself. So it doesn't need to be a big declaration unless that's what's calling from your heart, because Pluto is a powerhouse. Pluto and Jupiter is like an enormous I'll show you the next card. Emergence, and I'm seeing this guy like popping up through the glass ceiling, or not even a glass ceiling, that's just the words, the symbol of it. Like he didn't understand he was in this sheltered space until all of a sudden there was this expansive experience, and like almost a bursting open, a cracking open of the heart chakra in this greenish yellow vibe coming through that solar plexus energy of like the heart is blending with the solar plexus of assertion and wanting to act upon those desires, bringing those changes into fruition, but being blocked somehow in the psyche, in the mind, not feeling that either something about the position, the timing, but all of a sudden this expansion of the heart energy is pushing somebody through the fabric of their previous reality, where all of a sudden it's like you're in a pond and you never knew that there was going to be a channel that led out to a larger body of water 1 year, because when you were born there were no channels. You explored every inch of that lake. Now if you become complacent and don't continue to explore those old areas, you might never perceive it. But if there is a flood, all of a sudden the water level rises and perhaps connects two bodies of water. There's a connection being made, a divine connection that is being made in your life, and it may be one that invites you to stand up for yourself, or to take back your sense of self-empowerment and self-identity. Emergence also, certain individuals emerging as their identity isn't as socially accepted as some others. However it resonates with you. But I'm seeing you as this demon slayer energy, where it's all about like the skulls at this Kali's belt here. She's got her tools and she's just in this point of like, Lord save me. What was this? I'm sorry, regret. Like, help me. Did I really say that stuff? Or did I really just cut free of that? Or did I just reveal my feelings to a friend or a coworker or something? Or do you go and march up to that boss and put in your 2 weeks notice and go out on your own? Do you march into your boss's office and ask for the promotion, ask for the raise, tell them that you've taken a brand new class and now you've got these new skills that you haven't told them about in the past, and you have the perfect solution? How is that perfect storm for you? The timing is right for you to see beyond the mystique and the appearance and the unapproachability of an opportunity that looks so amazing that you can't bear to let it go, but you can hardly bring yourself to approach it. So there's this holding of your breath, and it's just the more that you put your energy into that, the more expansive it becomes, and eventually you begin to have the epiphany breakthrough moment that brings you into the awareness that perhaps it's like Grinch, the Grinch who stole Christmas, when his heart expands outside of the cage and busts the cage open, and he has these epiphanies and he starts leading his life in a different way. It's like that's what it's like when we get a high vibrational activation from somebody in our life. So we definitely have seen something. In my third eye is feeling kind of all of a sudden right now. It's as though you're suddenly making the connection of who or what situation is on your mind right now, and the heart is telling you, believe in it. Just believe. What if that miracle was waiting for you? And you kept looking around and looking around. And in the other reading I did today, I did a Taurus reading, and the same card came out, and I saw it a little bit differently, but it reminded me of a few things. And I looked up on my wall and I saw this picture called L'Innocence. I'm not going to butcher this guy's name again. It's a reprint. You can look it up. It's French. William A. B. from 1893. So I'm hearing 1983 every time I say that. So perhaps that somebody's birth year or something significant in your life happened around that time. Take it as you wish. But so this card is almost like not believing what we're seeing, like it's a mirage is what I was hearing. Like this mysterious priestess is almost like a cosmic mirage. Like, is she just what we are projecting onto her, what we want her to be, or is she real in the flesh? And there's something at the end of the last one about not being a robot. So I don't know. So let's put some tarot on this 2255 as we're moving along. So with the Demon Slayer, let's actually, oh wait, I will get tarot first. Like I said in the other reading, so I'm not going to probably throw the code cards and all of the cards in the ongoing zodiac readings for the sign specifics. I'm going to keep them a little shorter, and then we're going to do extended readings on top of them. But for now, we're just going to get into the depth of everything. So tell me more about this issue. Let's bring it down a notch from the implications and the emotional storm. There's a perfect opportunity for you to have the courage to step into what you've always seen as your destiny. Do you have the courage to choose you for you, Gemini? Do it for your soul twin. Castor or Pollux, who do you think you are, Mr. Big Stuff? On the cosmic level, you are quite incredible. So under the deck, we start with Sagittarian influence of Temperance. She's mixing fire and water, sulfur, Mercury. She's the divine alchemist. One toe on land and one toe in the world. She shows with the mountain in the background. She's been through a lot. She's tempered herself. Her wings in this deck are equal, saying that she has had her low points, her high points, but now she's moving ahead. But under the deck, we see that however confident this individual, male or female, I feel this is yourself, however confident you appear to others, however well you appear to have your shit together, your mind sometimes can become a mess because there's something that you're still fearful of opening your heart to someone, opening your mind to somebody again that has the capacity to infiltrate your psyche and your self-belief. You'll never do it again. And if somebody comes along that tries to, you'll see it. You will see it, and you will be empowered to leave it. You will bring your Kali sickle, and you will cut out that mofo's tongue. Maybe not. Don't do it in real life. This is all symbolic. YouTube's going to be like, what is this girl doing? Symbolic. Like taking the words out of their mouth through embodying who the hell you are. I need to read up on the YouTube words on the swear bucket. How does that work? 9 of coins is crossing you. You have everything that you need. You're showing up strong, independent, and you have a lot going for you. You have a bird in the hand. You're graceful, you're divine, and even this trellis, even though it's the earthly realm, the trellis itself lends itself to create this radiant crown behind her. It's like you can't even hide your divinity from people. Something just comes through and is seen to be part of just your presence. And you may not think it's as incredible as others do, but you are abundant. Look at this garden that this entity brings in with them. That garden is like their inner world. You are very divine, a very divine alchemist. If you're this mystic here, it's this beautiful energy, and you are very powerful, and you can create miracles for your own life. I was feeling too that this change it's like changing your mind. So for some of you, if you've been in a long-term partnership with somebody who is perhaps was once aligned and is now no longer, there's this huge change of mind. Or if you've been single and loving it, or work in the field and loving it, something is like, ooh, gotta rein that back in. There's a huge change of mind and intuitive flux. There's a miracle looking you straight in the face, and it's like you're standing there poised with your mouth just slack for a second, like, I cannot believe this. Is this real, or is this just fantasy? I don't know. Okay. It's true. That's the front side of the Ace of Swords. That's what your intuition tells you. It's like, King me, put my crown on. It's coming through as like establishing a domain, a legacy, becoming the king instead of the knight, ending the quest and starting dominion. What needs to be awakened? We have the 9 of Cups, and this guy, he comes through a little differently to myself. He kind of looks very professional, like he looks like he's got his business face on. He doesn't look very authentic to me at first glance. He has his business voice, he's standing a certain way, he has a certain outfit on and his hat at a certain angle to cover up whatever he doesn't want you to see on that side of his head. And it's like he's in this very rich palace, and he's got 9 cups. So this is somebody who has dreamed big, who has invested in many of their dreams, and most of them have panned out quite well. So this could be somebody who's not even looking and aware of how much abundance they've really gathered and accumulated, and they're ready for a breakthrough, and perhaps they're inviting someone into this environment. Behind you is this masked Taurian essence of the Hierophant, the structure, the institution, the patriarchy is coming through, and it's kind of making that as above, so below peace sign. Peace, love, and light, dude. But is he really Is his mind as clear as it could be, his or hers? This person has the keys, the sacred gatekeeper with the key code holder. So yeah, somebody very, very powerful entering your life, somebody that is going to potentially be an ongoing soul contract with you, whether that's romantic or otherwise. Whew. And then we have the backside of the Emperor. So what's behind him? We have fire and this cosmic etheric cube is what I think that is. And then his honoring, he's got a levitating orb again, an Isis symbol looking out over the domain. But us seeing the back of him, it's his contemplation phase. He's not quite ready to show his true face. He's still working out the details of what his mind, body, and spirit is telling him to do. Ooh, but under the deck, what has him in his mind, he or she, is this beautiful Ace of Cups. That is a fountain big enough. It's dwarfing the individual that's viewing it. It's so enormous, so abundant and life-giving. And there's so many beautiful mountains in the background. It's like this is an opportunity for love. And what's under that? Ooh, conflict. And Page of Swords, somebody looking for information. Six of Swords, healing. Five of Swords, competition, wanting to come out, wanting to... Okay. So, yeah, somebody's in their head quite a bit. So it could be mirrored on both ends, yourself and the person that you're dealing with. But don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Let's get... Is this the right deck? No, let's do this. I'm going to just do a quick layer with this deck. So spelling is important. And this deck takes some of the traditionally negatively connotated cards that some people fear or always say one thing or another about, and it puts them in a much more empowering perspective so that it can be used for the highest instead of making us feel like something is wrong. So we start out, again, the High Priestess, intuition and sacred knowledge. The Lynx is kicked back in repose, meditation in the sunlight perhaps. Doing that sacred alchemy, working through what needs to be worked out. With the Four of Shells, soul searching and re-evaluation. So this crane or heron or whatever it might be is wading through the shallow waters, maybe doing a mating ritual dance. It may be fishing for sustenance and nourishment. But the Four of Shells can sometimes be about denial, not seeing what's right in front of us, or not believing that it's available to us. It's like being in a shop full of amazing food. You can smell it, you can hear it sizzling or doing whatever it needs to do, but you have no money and there's no benefactors in sight, and you're hungry. So it's not to be had here, right? That's the attitude, but why not? I mean, if you really want to get in there, there's some way to do that. What is the message? I'm feeling something. It's like, in that analogy, for instance, there's a clothing shop, and you want all the clothes. You want to remake yourself. You want to get a haircut, a fancy makeover, and all these things, but you have no money. But if you work for that shop, then you get a discount on their merch, and so you kill two birds with one stone in that way, right? So instead of saying, oh, well, I want this, but I can't, it's saying, ooh, I see this new exciting thing that I desire. Maybe, how can I change the way that I approach or the resource base that I tap into so that I can not only align with, but resonate with and magnetize this stuff into my experience. Reevaluating the problem comes up with a new solution. So that's very material, but apply it to your situation as you can. So here we have Pumbaa, the wild boar, roar, stalking the prairie. Knight of Acorns. So Knight of Acorns is the wands, action and drive. So that's that knight in the quest for truth. Here, what is the truth of this matter? Tapping into the intuition, feeling those wild oats that want to be sown. The boar wants to mark some territory, wants to pursue, wants to procreate, whatever it wants to do, but it is wild and it has some acorns on it. So 9 of Acorns coming next. So 9 of Acorns comes with power and perseverance. This black jaguar here reminds me of the shaman, the black cat. Maybe you have a black cat. Maybe it's just your intuitive sense. But there's a sense of divine timing and having many quests under the belt and being ready for something different, no longer being fulfilled, changing the mind about what our intuition tells us it's time for, and perhaps contemplating a huge change and shift in dimensions. When you cross this bridge, then all of these things become possible. All of these things become plausible. Everything opens in front of you. But then one door, maybe several, tends to close behind you. And will I miss it? What if I miss it, right? What if you miss the open door in front of you? You've already had the experiences that are behind you. You're here to live. Look at that cheetah, moving fast. This is the recent past, 7 of Feathers, preparation and resourcefulness. One of those cards that gets the bad rap for being shifty and suspicious. So don't be too sus on everybody that's out there. Somebody wants to move fast. Somebody knows what they want when they see it. They've been looking a long time, and it's right there in front of them. They're prepared to chase into. They have the resources available, right? And 8 of Shells, quest and renewal, coming out over the back of the Emperor. So he's taken a moment to retreat back into himself to make sure that he's in a good space before he approaches this mystic, is what I'm feeling. And if this is just a reading on yourself, this is you resting, regrouping, and honoring the quest that brought you here, honoring all of the skills, tools, and resources that bring you to the point in your resume where you can apply for that job and feel confident. Look up Power Posing by Amy Cuddy on TED Talks. Oh my gosh, very incredible. You can change your biochemistry in, I believe it's 2 minutes or less, or is it 3 minutes or less? But if you're about to approach something, you go talk yourself up, get yourself talked into a good spot. Not like, well, they're gonna do what I want. That's not a good spot at all. That's power and control and old patriarchal dominance. That's you being pouty, right? Get into the place of, I am open and ready to receive all of the abundance of the universe. And in the moment, if it's not happening, and if I get redirected, I honor that path too. And I'm looking for, all kinds of abundance, not just this one thing that I think that I want, but I allow the universe to co-conspire with me to my highest benefit and act as that co-conspirator that will redirect me from that higher vantage point. Oh, that just popped out. Of seeing from above the chaos of the storms that are still active in my complex mind and energy signature to lead me in the right direction for myself, right? So trust that redirection, trust the flow. Queen of Crystals with comfort and prosperity came out under the deck. Taurus had this prickly cactus, and now we're seeing this porcupine. So The porcupine has a soft underbelly, it looks like in this. And even hedgehogs. Maybe it's a hedgehog. I think it's a hedgehog. You can still pet them. You just have to know what you're doing. So that one popped off the bottom of the deck, surrounded by crystals, abundance. It's like somebody's looking into a scrying mirror or into their third eye and conjuring an image of this beautiful, homey, abundant, feminine influence that's, yeah, okay. And under the deck we have the 13 card, corresponds with the death card, but in that here it's called transformation. It ain't over. It ain't over, baby. It's just a transformation. The end of one chapter allows us to get on to the next, right? Close out those old doors that aren't serving you, that never served you, and get excited about what's in store. It's another saying coming to my mind about when new doors are open, there's a bunch of people that kind of lose the opportunity because they won't let go of the doorknob of the door that's closing. They're trying to leave that open, and you can't reach across the hall in that way. Transition, liberation, cross that bridge. It's a sign of extreme evolution of your soul's journey to reach this point of the crossing. And there are many crossings that happen in life where we cross the veil of illusion of non-deserving, of scarcity mindset, of third dimensional red flag events taking our attention every time that any power wants to get our attention or sell us a marketing ploy. Getting ourselves transformed and transitioned away from those attachment and materialist and addictive behaviors that lead to lower vibrational self-sabotage, lack of self-belief, any of those things that have kind of dogged your path or dogged your heels, cut free of that and allow yourself to break free. This is like a locust that lies hibernating for years and then comes out. Maybe it's maybe a moth or something. Anyways, there you have it. So lastly, we'll just put a couple more of these out. And I think we'll close with a Tao message. So yeah, there's something big coming in. So and this is coming through many of the cards, many of the readings that we're doing. So change is in the air. It's the perfect storm for whatever you've been waiting for, but you have to allow yourself to step through that portal. You have to believe that you're worthy of the portal that's beckoning you. It's begging you. Come closer, come closer to your desires and destiny. I have mad respect for you and every mountain you have climbed and every burden you have dropped at the feet of someone else that needed to handle their own stuff while taking care of your own sovereign space with grace and poise and all of these things that have come through this Pluto Kali energy. I'm feeling this glow up energy for you as you have more respect for yourself and the accomplishments that you really bring to the table. Other people will reflect that as well. Are you a Heyoka empath? Or have you just recently encountered one? And that's somebody who has a deep sadness because of the lower senses in the world. The clown, which is very Gemini-esque, always entertaining others, learning who we are only through the mirror of others. Like if I am not entertaining to you, do I really exist? If I am not identified with some type of a group, if I do not serve some type of a self-purpose or path that's larger and third dimensional that I can put my finger on, am I doing it right? You know, and then they come through and other people pick up on these insecurities and tend to peck and pick and see how steady and secure the Heyoka is. And this individual, the Heyoka, will reflect sometimes those less evolved tendencies, and sometimes they will just give the medicine back as good as they got it. So if you want to throw your mamas around, the Heyoka can usually do it a little bit more, a lot more gracefully and a lot closer to the cut. Like they're the raptor that comes through and slashes the guts right open. They hit you where it hurts because they can see right through you. Bored easily. Surprised by that. So maybe... Yep, so maybe those other individuals aren't as complex. Love bomber. Okay. This mirage, is this mirage just a love bomber? Will they become bored by a third dimensional regular individual, like somebody who underestimates themselves? Well, don't underestimate yourself. Mirror your highest and best. Healing. It's here for you. So, friends, professional zone is coming up under the deck. Some boundaries, right? With this caterpillar opportunity, don't feel unequal to the task. Just be respectful and honest and authentic. So, friend zone, reclaim your power. Yin yang, counterbalance, electromagnetic. You bring the perfect counterbalance to serve the situation well. You're a leader, an entrepreneur, somebody who's bossing up and knows what you're dealing, or you're approaching a boss about something, somebody who is a boss. A, B, C, D might be letters, initials, a name of something. Somebody is missing something. There's a longing energy. Introvert manifestation. Use your energy. And I saw this earlier. Okay, I'm getting cock block and brick house. 8888. That's as far as we need to go on that deck. So we got that earlier. I know some delicate sensibilities will be offended by these things, but it's a real thing. It's like our strength and our capabilities and our I don't need anyone. It lets them know that you don't need them and you're not interested. Now, I would not be one to advocate for pretense and acting like you can't handle something that you can, but maybe you're putting the focus on something. It's like the guys that come along in traffic and there's some pretty young girls in a car next to them and they've got a big truck and they rev their engine. It's like trying to be so impressive comes across in many different ways, and trying to be anything other than just your own unique individual, it becomes boring. But if you're your own unique self, you're always in the evolution, you're always in the mystery, and you're always in the sense of becoming. So, okay. The Tao is pretty deep. So, sorry for bumping this a little bit, guys. So start where you are. I'm going to take just a little bit before the Tao. These are sometimes a little cheesy and whatever. But let's lighten it up, Kelly. You know, don't block your own benefits and your own abundance by being too prickly. Don't be a prick. To clarify, the primary roles of love are not to heal, fix, or mend, not to soothe, cure, or ease, not even to refresh, rejuvenate, or restore. Hardly. The primary roles of love are to yahoo, yeehaw, and woohoo. Get your love on, the universe. So be playful, uplift your energy. When a thing hurts your eyes, stop looking at it. When it hurts your ears, stop listening to it. And when it hurts your heart, stop justifying it. I love you so much. The universe. I think we talked about guarding your mind and how that sense of guardedness is protection, but it's sometimes too much. But it's like we're not asking for anybody to come in and help us, right? So that's fine. But if we're still listening to old scripts, old history, old selves that aren't they're not a clear representation of our energy any longer, then quit telling that story. It's time to see who the hell you are and be who you came to be. Tell me, are you finding that an occasional stranger has a crush on you? That for words you've almost mindlessly chosen, hearts broken too long begin to heal? Well, the eyes sometimes well up with tears when it's time to say goodbye. Remarkable. Our findings exactly. And then it says, your divinity is shown. The universe. I go where you go. Somebody wants to follow you. I go where you go. Somebody's following your moves, maybe on social media, maybe looking you up, trying to get a sense of you, trying to see if it's the truth or whatever, right? So, yeah, they're following that scent. They have caught your scent. Yeehaw! So, looks like there's a love opportunity because that's what we just heard. When it comes to choosing who will be in your life, I recommend valuing their yeehaw quality above all others. Have it your way. Special orders don't upset us. The universe. Always follow your heart unless it's been broken. Then you must lead it back into love. The universe. P.S. Did you know that hearts are never too big to mend, too small to rebound, or too tired to love again? Grinchy Grinch. Right? You have what it takes. You needn't worry. There's no one in your life who hasn't always loved you. They're all just learning how to show it. Big sillies. The universe. So there's your cheese and crackers. And I'll give you something on a more serious note real quick. Thank you guys so much for sticking with it, for supporting, for sharing your energy. As I said before to others, the more that you come and share your energy with me, the more that puts your vibe into the tribe and lets me read what you're putting out there and how I can be the best service that I hope and aspire to be. Here's the card popping out. 64. I had the 64 and the 46 earlier on the daily vibe as an anagram. What is rooted is easy to nourish. What is recent is easy to correct. What is brittle is easy to break. What is small is easy to scatter. Prevent trouble before it arises. Put things in order before they exist. The giant pine tree grows from a tiny sprout. The journey of 1,000 miles starts from beneath your feet. Rushing into action, you will fail. Trying to grasp things, you'll lose them. Forcing a project to completion, you ruin what was almost right. Therefore, the master takes action by letting things take their course. He remains as calm at the end as at the beginning. He has nothing. Thus, he has nothing to lose. What he desires is non-desire. What he learns is to unlearn. He simply reminds people of who they've always been. He cares about nothing but the Tao. Thus, he can care for all things. 16 under the deck. It's definitely a big realization because that is the tower number that we talked about earlier. So something bears further action. So recollect your energies, recollect your sense of self, and start something new. It looks like you're planting a seed, and it looks like it's going to be a journey of 1,000 miles. There's a commitment on the board. Oh, I already. Empty your mind of all thoughts. Easier said than done, right? But yeah, don't overthink it. Let your heart be at peace. Watch the turmoil of beings, but contemplate their return. Each separate being in the universe returns to the common source. Returning to the source is serenity. If you don't realize the source, you stumble in confusion and sorrow. When you realize where you come from, you naturally become tolerant, disinterested, amused, kind-hearted as a grandmother, dignified as a king. Immersed in the wonder of the Tao, you can deal with whatever life brings you, and when death comes, you are ready. There's something very interesting and profound happening. The death cycle, the life-giving and life-regenerating cycle is coming to pass. There's a whole new world opening up for you, and I'm so excited for you. I'm not going to stretch this reading. I think that we're done at that point, so I'll just tell you once again, thank you so much for liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, sharing your energy, sharing your light, and taking these messages in and giving them out to those in your life in the way that you see fit. Because light is meant to be shared. And I take these as activation codes. So you are a divine messenger, Gemini. That is why you are the communication sign. So guard and protect the inner child inside of your Heyoka empath. Maybe a child even, or a potential someone in your world or yourself. But guard that and know your value, right? Stay tuned. We're going to be doing so many different things here on the channel. I'm looking forward to doing some building projects, some gardening projects, greenhousing, trellising, and lots of digging, maybe a natural pool, and meditations, chakra clearing, chakra activations, and workshops and lectures. And I've got a lot of art. I've got my own tarot decks in creative mode, and we'll be publishing those. I've got a couple books that I'll be publishing. So far, the ones that are completed are for children's healing and grief counseling. So looking forward to sharing all the craziness that is myself and sharing what it is that makes you guys unique and amazing. So bring your awesomeness into the tribe. I'm looking forward to all that we are together. So gather and create, co-create with spirit. All right, take care, guys. Bye.